So this video has already gotten a lot more intense than I originally planned for it to be, but I'm going to try to do my best to keep it nice and short, and also it can act as a Halloween special, because look at how spooky these two are! But you're like, wow, well they're the same figure. Wrong! We're going to adjust that light to project it right in the front, and they're, so reprints or recolors, what's the difference, and why do you care? Well, fair enough. That's a good question. So these two are very similar. You can notice some of the differences already, but we'll talk in depth on them. But so like a recolor, I believe both of these to be real. They're helmets used on medieval knight type guys in the castle ranges, and I had never seen it in white until recently, but if we get up close in there, I think it's on the back side there, you can kind of see the Lego logo. So I guess it's real. And they're the same piece, but a different color plastic. Okay, so that's a recolor, very easy. Now, what about a reprinting? You're like, what includes a reprinting? Well, I think classic spacemen are a great example. I don't have any right here in front of you, but classic spacemen are a good example of that. We also have some different like reissuings, I would call them. And some of the biggest ones are, of course, the Banana Man and the Banana Friend. Very, very similar figures. They're obviously meant to kind of give off the same tone, but they're different. So the only piece that's kind of the big piece is the banana, and there's the banana logo on this one, which is the one from the collector series. And this one has no banana printing, but he does have the black on the top and bottom of the banana. So that's kind of like a reissue, I would say. I would also count the iconic sets, all of them basically. The caveman and cavewoman. I think it started with the chicken suit, which was a direct reprint or remolding, but it was the same colors and everything. That's the point. So I kind of wanted you to chime in and tell me what you think the difference is, of course. But these ones here are a really weird example. This one was available in the Build-A-Minis at my local Lego store, and a lot of it is very similar. But this one is the Monster Series CMF Series 14, I believe. And she did come with a cape. I don't have the cape on her, but that's not fair because they didn't have capes in the bin, so we're not comparing that. That's a completely extra piece. But some of the big things is like this one. You'll notice that gray on the front isn't silver. This one, it's silver printing. So you see how the light catches it? This gray is not. There's also on the necklace, it's a little hard to see, but the necklace on the original is silver printing as well with some red. And then basically all the red on this one was turned purple or a pink color. It's hard to say what exactly that color is in Lego bricks. It's printed on black, and printing on black tends to darken some of the color some. So it could just be pink. And I think that's the case. A lot of people say purple, but the eyeshadow is a very pink color in my eyes. So that's another one, is the face printing. The eyeshadow is kind of a gray or mauve color on the original, and then on this one it's a light pink and a darker pink on the end. Nothing on the back of either of them. The hair does have a little bit of a difference. It's an unprinted copy on the new one, and the original has a spider and a web, although it is a little hard to see because it's just so many lines and it's all crooked and going around. But the other big difference is, so you would say, okay, it's a recolor. That's great. But actually, the placement of the center spider is completely different on these two. The original has it between the hips and the torso, so like the bottom two legs there actually go on to the dress piece, the skirt. But this one has it moved up slightly, and it does intersect that center line, but it allows this top to possibly be used in more situations because you don't have to rely. I don't think this one looked that bad with the legs cut off, of course, but you don't have to rely on the legs to complete the spider. So interesting. They did use the same printing. Like they didn't. I was originally thinking maybe, well, they didn't put the legs on this one because they didn't want to have to put the gray on the bottom piece. It would have just been one color. But then they put the other spider, so that's not how it went. Another kind of weird one is we do have the skin showing on the neckline, but we have standard, I believe all of them, all the ones in my store did, have gray hands, which kind of comes into a weird little section with this guy. So this guy is a vampire, of course. He's got gray skin instead of the typical white you would expect. I believe that was Lord Vampire's face from the Monster Hunters. I could be wrong on that. Please don't hold me to it. This torso is also one that's been used a couple times, but this is purple instead of, I believe, red, and the Halloween Haunt. So go ahead and check out my review of that. I'll put it on screen, or just type it in. Like, literally everyone's reviewed that set. And it's a different torso, but he does have the white hands. I believe it did have white hands last time. So you could combine these two by switching the hands, which is questionably legal depending on how you look at it. And you'd have a proper Spider Lady reprint. Don't know. The other one that's fun is that I don't know what that leg print is from. It could be from something, so tell me if it is. But I found it very interesting, personally, is that this dress piece has a very similar kind of potion design. And that was used in it was a promotional pack with a witch, I believe. But it's got some other little things added on there. And I don't know, but, kind of weird that they're like almost the exact same orientation. This one and then the farthest one on this side. But so just interesting things to think about. And then, so it seems that a lot of these recolors and stuff are coming from the build a mini bin things at your Lego store. And this is an interesting one. So this one we're going to have to zoom in a little bit harder. But this one in the light gray is a reprint. It's the same printing, but it's a recolor. Is it a recolor? But this one over here is the dark color that came with the CMF dwarf in one of the series. It was the Battle Dwarf. He had an axe as well. But they both got that copper, chrome copper color, kind of a silver. I don't know. That's silver, kind of gold. I don't know. A metallic. Let's go with metallic copper design. It's losing focus. It's having a hard time with these, but you can see it. It gleams on the same on them, and they're printed so that there's obviously a front side. Both bores face the same direction. So if we move this side to the other side, the bore is facing that same head. So interesting on that. It's the same piece. I believe that's Thor's hammer. I could be wrong on that. But it's literally the same printing on different plastic, whereas we've had same printing on same plastic but different colors. So same pattern, I guess, would be his torso. We have had modified prints. We have recolors of plastic, and I'm sure there's others that I can think of if I think real hard. Well, like a kind of a complete reuse of a piece, I would say, is the gingerbread men head from the Clock King in the Batman Series 2, I believe. It was printed on the back, so it was like a circle. Anyways, the point being is, what other kind do they do, and do Lego do? Does Lego do different types, and what are they? Yeah, that's the question. And then are reprints where you're getting a completely different figure, do those count as a reissue? I mean, it's literally a Banana Man, and if you didn't have the original one, you'd probably really like to get it. But like this one, it changes so much that is it even still the same person? And I guess really for this one too, is it the same person? Is it a reissue, or is it a spiritual successor, which I feel could be fine as well. Obviously, recolors are super common, and that's fine. I can't think of any other examples where it's the same printing on two different colored pieces, so comment those and let me know, because that's an interesting one. And maybe I'll do an even more in-depth video of it, but I just wanted to do a little video for Halloween and say, Happy Halloween, guys! So, just, there's that. We're going to just make a big pile in the middle here. And that will be the video to click on that I picked for you. Over here is a subscription, and over here is the automatic video. Thanks for watching, guys.